The sound that night wasn't thunder, it was glass. Her perfume bottle, the one I bought her in Florence, shattered against the wall before I even realized I'd thrown it. The scent, amber, jasmine, and betrayal, filled the air like smoke after a fire. It stung my eyes, burned my throat, and clung to my skin long after I'd stopped shaking. I didn't cry. Not at first. Men like me don't cry when we're broken, we go quiet. A plan. We bleed inward. It started 3 weeks earlier, though if I'm honest, the rot had been setting in for months. The small signs. Elena used to hum while making coffee. Not sing hum. Soft, tuneless, like the sound of a memory trying to stay alive. But one morning, the silence hit me before the aroma did. No humming. No warmth. Just her back to me, shoulders tense, scrolling through her phone as if she was afraid it would disappear if she blinked. "Morning," I said. She didn't turn. "Hey," she murmured, half a smile, half an absence. Her phone buzzed again. She flipped its screen down. I told myself not to notice. That's how betrayal begins. So quietly, so politely, that you almost thank it for not making a scene. 2. The lie that felt like love. That Friday she called at 8:12 p.m. late. "Dinner with the team ran over," she said, voice echoing like she was in a hallway. "The boss wants us to go over the quarterly pitch one more time." Her boss, Adrian Hale. The man with perfect teeth and a handshake that lasted too long. The kind of man who called everyone champ, and smelled like ambition and musk. I told her it was fine. Because love, I'd learned, wasn't just trust. It was sometimes pretending not to see what hurt to imagine. When she got home near midnight, she smelled of wine and rain. She slipped into bed without turning on the light. I reached out, brushed my fingers against her wrist, but she flinched, too quickly for sleep. "Cold," she whispered. I didn't say anything. 3. The photograph. 2 days later I found it by accident. Her work laptop was on the kitchen counter, open. The screensaver hadn't kicked in yet. A photo, casual, unposed, filled the screen. Elena laughing, head tilted back. Adrian standing beside her, his hand on her waist, fingers pressing just enough to claim ownership. It wasn't obscene. It was worse than obscene, it was intimate. Familiar. The kind of picture that said this has been going on for a while. My stomach clenched. My breath came short. I stood there for minutes, unable to move, my heart hammering against the truth. When she walked in, her smile faltered. I saw what I saw. "Daniel." "Don't," I said, voice low. "Don't insult me with a lie." She looked at the floor, then at me. Her lips parted like she might confess, then closed again. That silence was my confirmation. For the slow unraveling. For the next week I played my part. I kissed her goodbye each morning. Asked about her day. I nodded at her answers. I became invisible in my own home, moving through it like a ghost rehearsing his final act. At night, I stared at the ceiling beside her sleeping form and thought about every memory we'd built, how fragile they suddenly felt. Her laugh in Paris. Her tears at her father's funeral. The way she once held my hand during thunderstorms as if I were the only steady thing in her world. I wondered when I stopped being that man. Or if she ever wanted me to be. 5. The plan. I didn't confront her again. Instead, I began erasing myself one piece at a time. I canceled the utilities in my name. I transferred the mortgage payments to her account. I wiped my photos from the walls, one by one, until the house looked like a showroom. The final touch was the letter. Typed, not handwritten. I couldn't risk my shaking hands betraying my composure. "Lena, you made a choice. I'm making mine. You'll come home to a quiet house because silence is what we've both been practicing. I won't hate you. That's too easy. But I won't stay where I'm no longer seen. Everything that was mine is now yours. The only thing I'm taking is my absence. Daniel." I folded it neatly, placed it on the kitchen table beside her favorite mug, and walked out the door. 6. The return. It was raining when she came home. I know because I watched from across the street. Engine off, lights dimmed. The way she hesitated at the door told me she already felt the emptiness. She stepped inside, looked around. Her mouth opened slightly, confusion flooding her face as she realized what was missing. The framed photo from our wedding gone. My shoes by the door gone. The sound of me in any form gone. She called my name once, then louder, then again, voice cracking. Finally she saw the letter. Her knees buckled as she read it. The paper trembled in her hands. She sat down at the table and pressed her face against her palms. I couldn't hear her cry, but I saw her shoulders shake, and for a moment, God help me, I wanted to run to her, to hold her, to say we can fix this. But that's the trap of love, isn't it? It teaches you to forgive the fire for burning you. I turned the key, drove away, and didn't look back. 7. The message. 2 days later I got her text. I made a mistake, Daniel. Please come home. I'll end it. I'll do anything. Just talk to me. I stared at it for a long time. Then another came. I don't want the house. I just want you. Then silence. I never replied. Some silences are sacred. The epilogue. It's been 6 months. I live by the coast now, in a small apartment where the walls smell of salt and freedom. Some mornings I wake up reaching for her. Then I remember. She's just a shadow now, something that once existed in the space between love and betrayal. Sometimes I wonder if Adrian was worth it for her. Sometimes I wonder if I drove her to him. But mostly, I wonder if she ever stands in that house, staring at the space where my photo once hung, and realizes the quiet isn't peace, it's punishment. Because when I left, I didn't just take my clothes or my memories. I took the version of her that was still good. And that, I think, is what truly broke her.